Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And today we are joined by Sumo Dan. Dan, is it Mr. Dan, or is Sumo your given name?
No, Sumo Dan is how he has his name here. Clearly his first name is Sumo.
Yeah. Well, guys, my name is Sumo Dan because no one could pronounce kelp flesh.
Kelp flesh. Okay, no, and
kelp flesh.
To be fair, we had a hard time with that too.
I took a swing at it when we were at Vegas was the tournament that we first met you at, but I'm like, this looks vaguely German. I'm gonna take a swing at it, and I was like, I had to announce it.
It's German, yeah, but yeah, Sumo Dan's easier. But then people are, why do they call you Sumo Dan? And I say because my first name's Dan. So.
Yeah,
my first name's
complicated. Dan. Yeah,
right.
No, as a guy with a French last name with like 7 vowels in it, I totally understand that. It helps you weed out the telemarketers, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh well. Well, we wanted to have you on. Obviously, the headline here is you are putting on an event in about a week and a half here. Tell us a little bit about that event. Why don't we just start there? Because that is clearly like that's why we called you this time. But yeah, we do also want to talk about your history in the sport and all that. But,
clearly, but yeah, we got to turn.
But tell us about the
business first.
The Sumo Classic.
Okay, yeah, the Sumo Dan's All American Sumo Classic. I'm not putting it on myself. I'm putting it on with Cornelius from Iron Wave Sumo. Now they changed their name between when we started this, but
it's been in the works for a while.
yeah, it's been in the works for a while. I think we got it approved at whenever this nationals was, and then we've been trying to run things. Sumo Dan's I can't even say anymore. Sumo Dan's All American Sumo Classic at Mr. America because we're holding it at the Mr. America. I don't know if you guys are familiar with bodybuilding, but Mr. America is actually the longest running bodybuilding show. They do an amateur contest as well as like a drug tested professional contest. So, but they've been going on from at least the 1930s. So, yeah, so it's on the East Coast. Yeah, in Atlantic City. I'm actually friends with Mr. America 1967, Don Howarth. He's an old guy now. He's very cranky, but he was known as the Duke of Delts. He's a great guy, and we're friends. So, but yeah, Mr. America, it's a great venue, and what we want to do is put sumo tournament on because they're having other tournaments too. They're having other martial arts events and also powerlifting and CrossFit stuff, and it's a sports festival as well as a bodybuilding show. So we get an automatic crowd there whenever we go to these fitness expos. There's people watching, and it's like, oh, what's this, sumo? Naked guys fighting, So I have an in with Mr. America. Like, let's put it on there,
No, that's really cool. Yeah, with
sweet.
We've done a couple. We've seen a couple events in the last year or so on like at FitCon was one of the other ones, and when you just get like people interested in athletics in general, you lure them in with like the exoticness of sumo, and then they get hooked, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in the past, I've done like 3 tournaments at the Mr. Olympia, which is the biggest bodybuilding show. We've done at the Muscle Beach Fitness or the Muscle Beach. I don't know if you guys know LA area. Muscle Beach is pretty famous. And we did the LA Fit Expo. So we always get a big crowd. Like even at the LA Fit Expo, we had Mike Tyson watching us do sumo.
Oh, wow.
Back then. Yeah. I was busy running it. I was like, Mike, you're in there next. And he just laughed, I mean, I would have liked to see him step in the dojo, but no.
I'd have been terrified if he put on a Mawashi and be like, what's a Supari? Like, oh God, here we go.
Closed fists? Yeah, no, Mike.
Yeah, I feel like he could still do some work.
That's what I mean. It's no.
Oh man. Well, yeah, so that's how this one came about. But what so this is slightly different from some of the other club tournaments we've seen recently. This one, just because of the format and all that, you're going with like an invitation style format, right?
Yeah.
Tell us who do you have so far that is signed up, and what can we expect as far as like the format of how the tournament itself is going to happen?
Well, basically, this all started when Cornelius gave me a call one day, asked me for some advice with the sumo. I met him last year. He came out to LA and trained with me for 3 days, and he's a very respectable guy. He's he's always willing to learn from old timers and get his ass thrown around the ring just to learn something new.
Yeah.
But he kept calling me for advice, and I kept giving it to him. And this, earlier this year, he's like, well, what do I do about this? And like, if I were you, I would do this kind of tournament. And like the next day, I'm like, hey, let me call Mr. America. And we got on the phone. He's like, yeah, we can do it there. So I was like, all right, Cornelius, we're doing this kind of tournament. And really the idea of this is we're trying to create an elite level of competitor tournament for some of the top quality guys who want to compete against, other top quality guys. Sure. A lot of times, youth federation and sumo is still small enough where if someone like wants to compete at nationals or North Americans for their first tournament, it's like, well, we're not going to deny you because there's so few tournaments. But
right,
that kind of thing, you don't know who you're stepping in the ring with. A lot of times you're stepping in with somebody. Well, that's the problem. It's all level. Sometimes you hold yourself back because you don't want to hurt the person, or they don't know what they're doing and you get hurt. But something like this, where we're basically trying to bring the elite guys in the U.S. to compete, they know that everybody who steps in that ring can take a hit, knows how to do sumo. And actually, this is the first tournament in the U.S. ever that no one is going to wear panties underneath their mawashi.
Yeah, you're enforcing the traditional. I like it.
Well, we are, and there's a reason for that, because I still think the audience gets confused of why are these guys wearing shorts?
Oh, sure.
You got to explain to it. This is sumo, but they're wearing shorts. But even I'm competing. I think my first year I wore shorts because it was convenient, but. Right. I would still bring people to the tournament like, oh, why are these people wearing shorts? This is sumo, and you see the comments online. If you guys go to, YouTube, like, that's not real sumo. They're not wearing shorts, or they are wearing shorts.
They're wearing jammers. Hang on here. This isn't right.
Yeah. But I think, if you're an elite athlete, you know how to do sumo, you know how to do sonkyo, you know how to do the chirichozu, you know how to start your match, you know what you do if you false start, you go back to Songyu, and you don't wear panties. So, so that's the idea of this tournament. We're trying to create an extra level. That way, everybody knows that you're competing against someone who knows how to do sumo.
Yeah, an all-star game kind of a deal. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's the idea. We started inviting a lot of people, and because the World Games is happening, this year, a lot of people spent their hard-earned money to go to there.
Travel is always the number one problem.
Travel is the killer.
Yeah, especially in an international amateur sport where you got to pay your own way.
Right.
Believe me, I know that. So I've spent a lot of money traveling. So right now I think, we're going to get some 12 guys, maybe 16, but Trent Sable we got, who's one of my old teammates back in the day. U.S. champs like Cornelius Booker, obviously
reigning champ and everything. Yeah.
So I'm not going to compete in this tournament. I'm running the tournament. He's going to compete in it, because it's like, Cornelius, we can't both compete, and I'm not going to make you run it. So, and he's still a young guy.
Here, you get out there. You go hit him.
Then we got Andrew Roden, Kyle Farrader, Karinga. We got some other guys. My training partner Zach, he kicked my ass at practice a couple days ago. He's going to be there. So
he's hungry.
He is. Yeah, he is. So we got some good guys. Yeah,
that's a good mix.
No kidding. And just from scanning your Instagram, I also saw Jose is on there. JJ. So you guys have like top level heavyweights, middleweights, lightweights.
That's sumo open
weight. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we love about amateur is the open weight, because it's like, all right, this is as pure as you're gonna get to the Japan circuit.
Yeah, but like, I mean, when you got guys that are at the elite level, it's by no means is it a sure thing that the heavyweights are gonna take it. Like there's JJ, I imagine JJ and especially Trent have many tricks in their bag that they're gonna try and pull out here.
Oh yeah, I've seen Trent do some weird stuff. I mean, he never beat me, but But I've seen him do some weird stuff.
So that's okay. You're running the tournament. You don't want to.
Yeah, no.
Don't want to give him another match or anything. I get it. Yeah.
Well, actually, my first national win was 2007, and Trent took second to me in the open weight. So
oh wow,
yeah.
Cool.
That was definitely not going to lose to a Trent.
So now you're denying him his chance for revenge, is what this is. Like, no. I'm running the tournament. You're just not going to beat me. You can try, but you're not going to beat me.
I kind of semi-retired or unofficially retired this June after the Milano Sumo Open. I was like, yeah, I lost too much. I lost too much weight. I don't have my power anymore. I used to be 385 for that tournament. I was down to 310, and when you fight heavy and then you don't have your power anymore, you make stupid mistakes trying to compensate for it. And oh man, that was not good.
Well, I mean, you're certainly not retiring because you can't take it anymore. Because in Vegas, just in December, you got, was it third in the open weight? Second?
Yeah. Don't remind me, man. That was terrible.
Wait, that was terrible?
That counts as a failure in your experience?
Well, I mean, yeah, well, like 3 weeks before the tournament, I'm not going to blame Zach, but like I hyperextended my knee pretty bad. And I couldn't even do Sonkyo properly. Like I was just hurting. But here's my delusion. I still went in there thinking I was going to take 2 golds. And then I took one bronze, and to me it's like, I was so disappointed. Like I never rewatched the videos. I never watched anybody else's matches. So I was just kind of out of it that whole weekend. So
yeah. Gonna let that one go for now.
Yep.
No, it is what it is. I was going to go for the World Games. That's the main reason I attempted it. But it was good to see that sumo was growing. But again, we want to grow it a little more. Yeah,
competitive.
You need different versions of and I think I think I like that all-star game idea comparison. Like some tournaments, the one coming up this weekend in Grand Rapids, the Beer City Open, that one they're doing like a, they have their regular tournament, like club tournament, but then the next day they also have like just novice tournament. And some places will do that, but like at the same level, you got a novices only tournament. Maybe also we should have some elite only tournaments. Yeah. I like the mix, and I like that we're going to see a bunch of different of these guys that would call like all stars or elite wrestlers on the amateur scene here.
Because I mean it's we want it to grow, and we want to give these guys another opportunity to like rise up in their abilities,
and get a bitchin' medal. I saw a picture of that on your Instagram.
Where is it? I can't find it right now, but yeah, it's I tried to get something cool.
Yeah.
No, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
It should be about that big. And
yeah.
This big ass gold chain on it and everything. Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I think Billy Blank stole that from me. So I think he still has it. He walked out with it.
Oh man. Well, yeah, you mentioned World Games. You've got some history with international sumo too, right? Like, have you been on like the U.S. Worlds team or where's that come from?
Yeah, I've been quite a few times. Yeah, I think my first tournament like 2000,
reaching all the way back into antiquity.
Well, it was it was in Thailand, 2007, and I got sick the night before the tournament.
Oh no!
So I had that rare, opportunity to actually be wearing a diaper in the ring. Not a mawashi, but a diaper.
An actual diaper.
I did not want to be known as American who crapped himself in the ring at the World Championships.
that is not a good impression.
Because anybody who jokes around about the mawashi being a diaper, if you know how a diaper works, you know the mawashi will not act like a diper.
No. It will not function that way.
So yeah, that was tough on me. I think I didn't won maybe like 3 out of the 8 matches I had that day, and it was tough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man. Well, yeah. So 2007. Was that like earlier in your career, or when did you actually first put on the mawashi as opposed to the diaper?
Yeah, I started in 2005. Yeah, and then 2007 I won the open weight. And won the next few years. And
Yeah.
But what drew you into sumo then? What started you down this long, amazing journey that is sumo?
That results in like a 3-foot tall statue right behind you in your office.
Oh no,
here.
I've been staring at everything in his
like,
background. I see a
there's-
Bonsuke. I
Clearly,
see
you're
this
not
giant statue with
half-assing it,
the
I guess
medal.
is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
that's why I did the interview in this corner.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Well,
guys?
how'd you
What
start?
started
get
you
into
down
it?
this path? What got you into sumo?
Chicks dig the uniform. Chicks love the uniform. Football players, they wear too many pads. Other martial artists, they wear too much clothes. Chicks dig our uniform. So,
No, fair enough. That
all right.
That does it. Well,
Ladies,
it's been
it's
fun,
on
but
display.
all right, guys.
But
And
no,
that's why you don't wear panties.
Exactly. So yeah, you come from other sports like football or something?
No, I wish I probably would have made money doing.
Well, I mean, like, big guy like you probably did some other sports first, but what made sumo stick as your number one?
Well, actually, I watched a documentary in probably early 2005 called Sumo East and West. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
It's right there on my shelf.
There it is.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I'm watching the first half, and they're showing the Hawaiians doing great at Grand Sumo, and then later they come up with Wayne Vieira and then Manny Yarbrough doing international amateur sumo. And I'm like, what? I had no idea, because before that, sumo was a punchline. I was like, oh, sumo's a punchline in a commercial. It's the joke. But when you see that international wrestlers can do that, I'm like, because I'm a proud American. I don't think every time I travel, it's like, I want to get back home, just because I don't speak the language and my brain doesn't work that way. So I can't learn the language. But I like traveling. I don't want to stay there. So I wouldn't want to. I never even thought of an option to go into pro sumo and never even look at it. But I saw that. And I'm like, hey, let me try it. And there was a club in LA at the time. I tried that and I was above average. I did high school wrestling for 4 years. Okay. And I was above average, but I never went to state or anything for that. But I took the sumo right away, and it was cool because obviously you guys have seen Sumo East and West, but I've got to hang out with Wayne. I got to hang out with Manny. Got to hang out with like Kenna, like a lot of those guys that I met there. A lot of international guys.
Oh yeah.
And then actually it wasn't until this year, earlier this year, and like in May, I went to Hawaii. And I was supposed to go to Kauai, but I went to Oahu first and trained with Wayne. And I don't know if you guys met Henry, Samson.
Oh, yeah.
And Prince. I trained with those guys. And, oh, man.
You got to train with Henry. That's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah. Well, Wayne went to the pros. They're all about hitting. They're all about the tachi, and wow, those guys can hit. So whenever they can afford plane tickets, we try to get some sponsors. We couldn't get them out for this tournament, but man, those guys are hard hitters. Like I went to vacation and do some filming with my gym crew in Kauai, but I had these bruises up my chest from Henry and Prince and Samson, man, and Simeon was there too. Simeon, I can actually take a little bit because he's a
little guy though.
Yeah. So, but I was like down to 310, and Henry at the time was like 620. So Henry was actually double my weight when I was out there in Hawaii. But getting to the fact is, I got to train finally out of like 17 years of doing sumo. I finally got to train in Hawaii with Wayne and those guys. I've done different events with Wayne, but not in Hawaii, and that was just amazing. Amazing to do. It was like a dream come true because that's the documentary. There would be no Sumo Dan without Sumo Wayne.
Yeah. It came full circle here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'm retired because the next month I did in Milan. I'm like, no, I'm done.
I'm good.
Any particular like injury or anything, or was it just like it's too much, not worth it?
No. Well, I mean, I guess I tested positive for COVID the next day, so maybe I had COVID. Maybe I had COVID when I competed, but like there's a few heavyweights where I make stupid mistakes because I didn't have my normal power, and then you try stupid stuff because you're not fighting the way you used to, and then you lose. So, and that's sumo. There's no room for mistakes. So,
Yep. You only got a couple seconds, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So of all the different tournaments that you participated in, which one stands out in your head as the one that you had the most fun at? What is there a particular one that you're like, yes, that was an absolute blast?
Well, like I mean, been to Milan like four or five times, I think, because like Fausto Gobi, who runs the tournament, he's the Italian champ. He puts on a great thing. We get to eat and hang out. And the reason I especially went to that one this year is because it was the last. Like, no one, it's been closed down for 2 years because of COVID. Mm-hmm. So I got to see a bunch of friends. But I mean, really, yeah, every tournament is pretty cool, like especially international, because everybody starts drinking afterwards, and like you go to a world championship, no one speaks the same language, but you start drinking and you understand.
They share one language.
Perfectly.
Pop some tops. Yeah. Like, anybody thirsty? Like, yes.
Dude, yeah. Too many stories.
No.
Don't want to get anybody in trouble, but yeah, there's.
Oh boy.
You know, and every country has their own like moonshine, so that we can, yeah, you can get dirty drunk out there. So
yeah, everybody's got that one like try this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he'll drink it? Maybe we'll find out.
So one thing that I did want to bring up, because like you travel all over the world doing sumo, you organizing tournaments, attending tournaments. One thing I did find while I was doing my homework, you have an IMDb page. That's not very common for guys that we bring on the show.
Thank you for bringing that up, Jay, because I found that too.
Yeah.
I live in Los Angeles, guys. So
is that just kind of a given if you're in LA?
Oh, no, but opportunities arise. Like I actually 2 months ago, I actually fought, like Billy Blanks goes to my gym, so we're friends for a while, but I actually got to fight him in his new film coming up. And
oh, cool.
Which was cool about that is because like it's a low budget film, and they didn't have a script of like, they didn't have the fighters like named or anything that he was fighting, but they're like, well, if you want to wear your mawashi and represent a sumo wrestler, you know, we're doing like street fighting stuff, but I get to do some sumo moves, and I get to wear my mawashi and like actually represent sumo in a fighting film. That's cool. So I got
that's
to fight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That honestly sounds like my kind of movie,
right?
It's street fighting, and then a guy walks out in a mawashi.
Pretty
all
much.
Right, I'm paying attention.
So, what's the name of the film? The Circuit. I'm not sure if it's going to come on Netflix, but I'll keep you guys updated. When it comes
please
out.
do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I get to fight one guy and beat the crap out of him, and then Billy Blanks gets to beat the crap out of me.
Right.
So,
no, that is not how sumo works.
Well, in order for him to look good, we got to establish that the sumo guy's a tough bastard, right?
But sumo, but sumo.
Yeah. No. I mean, Billy's got those taekwondo kicks, man. Like those actually, you know, obviously we're doing stunt work, and we're gonna make some connections. But there's one point like he basically got me in the belly with it. You know, he was kicking me in the belly. But one time, you know, one take, he actually got me pretty hard in there. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to, you know, Billy's like 67 right now. He just had his birthday, but yeah, he still got a tough kick. And then like after like, oh, Billy, you know, and then after that, he goes, dude, like one of your supplier, he thrust got right in his stomach. He goes, I would never want to feel a real thrust from you. So, so I guess we kind of got each other accidentally. One sumo slap and one thrust, but or one kick to my belly, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Was this so the other one that I see on here, it doesn't give me any other information, but Ocean's 13?
Okay, thank you.
Gotta ask on that one, because that's the only one on here that I had actually heard of, and I'm like, I've only seen that movie once, but
there was a sumo match at one point in the movie.
Yeah,
it's just kind of off in the background.
Yeah, because it had nothing to do with the plot. Basically,
no.
It starts the third act where Al Pacino, he's opening his casino up, so he's got a bunch of different crap going around, and one of them's a sumo tournament. Although, like, they don't do much with it. But Akebono and Musashi Maru fought. I don't remember if you get to see them, but Akebono and Musashi Maru fought in that scene as well.
I am looking this up.
Yeah. They had a scene, and then they're like, oh, and they had a few of us as background, but the background sumo wrestlers, it was only me and Kelly Nutting who actually knew how to do sumo because we were sumo wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So we got to fight, but it was all out of focus. There's like one shot of me out of focus throwing Kelly out of the ground, and then there's like I'm just out of focus. You can't tell it's me.
You can tell because you knew that you were there, but like, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But I mean, it was this. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was what it was. So, yeah.
Not your career, but when you got a friend who needs somebody big for their movie, they know who to call, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not big anymore, but
Well, hey, I mean, from me and Max weight class, yeah, I mean, we it's still plenty big, but
it's relative.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess why don't we talk a little bit more about the event that's coming up here before we sign off, but we got a bunch of people that will be there, but is there going to be a way for us to watch the tournament live, or is that something are you guys going to be like, releasing film or pictures later, or what's the plan on that?
Yeah, we're gonna release stuff later. We're trying to grow this in a way we didn't get a live stream going. So no, it's not live, unfortunately. So, but if you want to go to Mr. America in Atlantic City, it's free to anybody who goes to the Mr. America's All American Sports Festival.
Sure.
Awesome. But yeah, we plan, and it's not just for the audience, but also for the athletes because they want to see video. So we will have video. I don't, maybe next month or not. Well, either end of October. I'll try to get it up and make sure it's out there, so that way we get everybody to see the matches. And I want everybody to see it, but we got to do it in a way where we're protecting ourselves. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, we will keep an eye out for that. Where can people follow you to keep an eye out for news on that or any other news on Sumo Dan's adventures?
Okay, I mostly post on my Instagram, which is Sumo Dan USA. I have some other stuff. Just follow me on Instagram, Sumo Dan USA.
There you go.
I'll be posting and
easy
and possibly yeah. I don't have a YouTube site yet, but I think for this, like once I get these tournament videos, I'll probably have to do that as well, just to have them out there and for future events. Because if this goes well, I think we want to. Me and Cornelius want to do more. Because again, we like that idea of an elite level events, and again, it's surprising that some guys are like, oh, I still want to wear my panties, or it's like, I can't afford it. I want to do it because I don't know who's going to be there. It's like, dude, we're in, anyway, we got some great guys at the tournament and we're trying to put it on, and it's double elimination because again, like I started that back when I was president of the federation, and I'm glad like when I came back at North America, they're still using that double elimination format because for sumo, which is like a 5-second match, I don't want the second place winner, or the second place medalist to be said, oh, they lost by 5 seconds. They don't get another opportunity. So that's why I made sure we're doing double elimination. I'm glad some people are still, using that because like worldwide, they don't use it. Like obviously at the Worlds or the World Games, or even went to Milan, they don't do that. You lose once, you don't get to win. But like in the double elimination, if you lose once, you make one mistake, you can still win. And that's what I like about it, especially when sumo is so quick.
Yeah. And unless you have some massive tournament with like 50 guys in it or something like that, you don't really need to worry about time. Again, if each match is 5 seconds, why not have a whole bunch of them, right? Make everybody get their money's worth for traveling.
Well, that'd be the goal, because if we can get 50 elite guys in the U.S.,
there you go.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you very much my dog is back from her walk, so she is going to invade and knock all my shit around in here. So perfect time for us to sign off. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Sumo. Sumo Dan.
Hey, see, that's his name. Sumo. His name is Sumo.
I'm tongue-tied because I was trying to read and talk at the same time. I wanted to make sure to mention you also have an Etsy shop with some banging t-shirts.
I try to get something cool like the one I'm wearing now.
That's
Sumo
awesome.
America.
Yeah, excellent.
Because what I did was I took the Captain America shield and made it into a dohyo.
Oh, that's it. I get it. Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, the other one I'm proud of is Sumo Kai, slap first, slap hard, no mercy. So that's on my Etsy.
That one's good too.
I see that one here. That one's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Etsy at Sumo Dan, or Etsy.com/Sumo Dan. I don't know. Look up Sumo Dan on Etsy.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really go too wrong with searching for Sumo Dan. You'll figure it out.
Thanks, guys.
Well. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Keep an eye out for footage coming up, but I'm sure that the guys that'll be there will get like some good pictures and stuff like that. But that is Sumo Dan's All-American Sumo Classic on the 8th of October at Mr. America. But,
Atlantic City, New Jersey.
In Atlantic City, New Jersey. What's the venue for that, by the way?
It's going to be the Tropicana Boardwalk Hotel and Casino.
There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Well, as we sign off here, Dan, the traditional sign off, last question that we always have to make sure that we address.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1:30 in the morning. Calling out last call. Karaoke Mike is calling for one more song, and you're the hero. You're the one who has to save the party. What song do you pull up?
Viva Las Vegas by Elvis Presley.
Ooh, the king.
That's a good one.
There we go. Thank you very much, guys.
Looking forward to hearing the full rendition someday. Excellent. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high
and keep moving forward.